My Kitchen Remodel Part 2.
Starting to feel real.
It is real.
In our last video, you watched the earliest stages of my kitchen remodel and why we chose Kusiak Construction. We were nervous at first, with everyone telling us that any dream kitchen remodel will become a nightmare once the project begins. So far, we couldn't be happier. In today's video, you'll see how it turns out.
After years and years of talking about a new kitchen, we had people out. It always ended up us being very confused. We didn't know what decision to make. And it was clear, people just wanted to sell us something. And that all changed the day that Bob Popovich and Kusiak Construction came out and started the process.
Well, most of the time when we had people in, they were trying to steer us toward what they wanted us to have versus what we wanted to have.
I like to get an idea of their lifestyle, of how they like to cook and entertain. How many people are going to be using the kitchen? You know, a lot of times the kitchen is really functional for one person, but if two people are in there at the same time, you're walking all over each other and everything else. And then once I make some notes about, you know, some of the wants and desires, and maybe things that if you had in the budget that you could go to, and that's where we option some things. But I like to get it down on paper, first of all, so that you can actually see the process of what's all included and what's thought into the job. And then I like to come up with a rendering of what the kitchen's going to look like. The computer does a good job on that now.
Yes,
it almost looks like, you know, the finished product.
We had people that were actually trying to persuade us for more money than a brand new kitchen. They wanted us to work with what was 24 years old that was in our house since the day we built the house in 1999 or 2000. And they never told us that we had options like extending it to the ceiling. And a lot of the things that we ended up doing was never presented to us. And you actually helped us find what we wanted. And you helped us explore what we needed as well as what we should want. And I thought that was very helpful.
Only what we're talking about is maybe replacing this cabinet with an all drawer cabinet for better storage.
Okay.
And then on the end here, we'd have a normal cabinet. We can pull out some pull-out shelves on that, so that I'm glad we were successful at that. You know, I mean, at the end of it, it's all your decisions anyway. You know, all we do is make some suggestions and from experience what works and what doesn't work. But you guys were wholeheartedly involved with making every one of the decisions, you know, and I think you did a great job.
The other thing is when we still had questions, Jim was able to get on the phone and call Bob even when he's on vacation, and he would answer our questions. He would always, you know, or say, hey, I'll get back to you in, 10 minutes when I'm, back from my vacation.
Everybody we knew that had a kitchen remodel shared horror stories, and we were prepared for the worst. And I'm almost glad we did, because it could have made the experience better, because it was so delightful. But that's, I think, was the greatest strength of the whole process was
our carpenters and subcontractors are real team members. You know, they're like our family, and they respect our customers and they respect their property, and they do a great job.
You know, usually you think, oh God, how much longer are they gonna be here? And the thing is that, I mean, it starts with Bill. Bill has worked for you for the most part since 1989.
Yeah.
And his loyalty is amazing. And every morning he'd show up on time. The guys would always show up on time, and maybe just as impressive, when Julie would come home from work, everything was spotless. They would make sure that they were as little as imposing as possible. They hooked the oven back up with the refrigerator, cleaned up, and they allowed us to keep going the best we could during the time, and it was a great experience.
I Jim said, I've heard nightmares where people are like, there was dust everywhere. They worked on the drywall. It's everywhere. That was not the case here, and they did a fantastic job, and they were very professional and very courteous, and I truly appreciate it.
But Leyland was pretty crazy. He was such a perfectionist. You'd think he was doing his mom's kitchen, and that might sound like a cliche, but man, he did a good job, and you'll see in the video.
He does that on every job. You know that he is a perfectionist for sure.
I know.
Leyland, I was just asking about you. How are you doing? I see you. Thank you for coming. I was really hoping you'd come.
Wow! Are we on the clock?
Yeah, I have to dock for being late. There he is. I love spending money with you guys because you guys earned every bit and it was so rewarding. So thank you.
They got a lot of mouths to feed and a lot of shoes to buy, and so they all appreciate it.
I just want to say cheers.
This is to Phil, Dennis, Leland, Bill, Todd, Manny, Alex, all the guys from our staff that made this happen, because Bob and I can come out and sell, but we can only sell quality work if we have the guys to do it. So this is to you guys that did the work. Absolutely.
Thank you.